Now we're cooking. Hey, everybody, it's the coach.
First opened in 2002. There's a look inside Ford Field here in Detroit, the Motor City. Today, it's the penultimate week of the regular season, week 16, and we've got a good one in store between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. Play fake. Cousins. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A big play there on the first play of the game. 52 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Cousins now to throw on first down. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
A first down for Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen.
Hey, we talked about Adam Thielen a little bit last year, didn't we? Possession receiver, makes some tough catches, gets it done, and he's a homeboy. And we're up very close to the Twin Cities.
And showing those possession receiver skills right there to pick up the first. There are the numbers for Cook from a week ago. 20 carries, 93 yards.
And give him a ton of credit. He's running the ball really well. But I look at those guys up front. That unit is truly playing as just that. Every move that they make, their teammate understands what that move means and what they need to do. And right now, they're starting to grind it out pretty well.
On second and goal, Cook waiting in the backfield all alone. Cousins to throw it. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Bailey got the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And it's polished off by a Viking score. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Everson Griffin in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their second down call is going to look like now.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He gets this one to Bruce Ellington. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a third down. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. but everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they show to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down.
That throw's not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the first down, and I'm going cliche here. Game of inches, partner.
Absolutely. And you talked to me a lot about opening drives, how key those are to set the tone. You kept the drive alive. Third down conversion here is big. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series. Though we've seen some good pressure defensively already here in the first quarter, here's another good example.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. He'll look to throw. Throwing deep for Galladay. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Oh, a big decision here early. Look at this. They're going to go for it on their own side of the field.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39. Hot.
They're going to try and throw. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game, and it'll be a turnover on downs. So they take a big chance here in their own territory, and you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, you know, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room? Because I think the team's going to look at him like, Coach, why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense. You don't like the punter? I mean, what's going on here? You owe us some explanations.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he's brought down, but not before picking up the first with a very effective stiff arm. Cousins to his tight end, Rudolph, for a Viking first down.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of here.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Now Cousins, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
Defense.
A little antsy on the left side of the line.
Yeah, I think they got the guy in the end. I think they got the DN there on that one. And let's face it, he is so amped up, wanting to get a good get-off on the snap, jump too quickly.
And the penalty helps, but not a whole lot. It's still 3rd and long. from the gun. Here's Cousins. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
The Lions offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. Correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games. Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Set. 3-19.
They're going to look to throw. And Jones has it over the middle. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Oh, they would have gotten the conversion if he could hold on. Instead, the drop means it'll be 4th down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Now, the offense failed earlier on the previous crack at this, but they're going again on 4th down. Back to throw here. Over the middle, complete. It's Jones. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one.
Well, it all came together on that one, didn't it?
Big-time throw on 4th.
Now, that had to feel good, didn't it? Taking that type of a gamble there and making it pay off. What a throw.
And tough as a receiver because no matter how perfect the pass, you know it's 4th down and you got to convert.
A little bit of extra pressure, but he overcame it.
They'll set up to throw. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
The left side completion to Jones. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man of the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Give the tackle there to Daniil Hunter.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
The Lions on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll drop to throw. Flushed out right. He may try and run for this. And clocked it up.
Let's be frank. You hate the fumble at the end of the play, but prior to that, I liked a lot of what was going on. Tucks it down, takes off, picks up good yardage. But in that portion of the field, that close to the sideline,
step out.
Yeah, either get down or get out of bounds. Take care of the ball.
Yeah, he had the yards, but then the mistake. They begin the drive with a run by Murray. And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this 2nd down call after that type of a game.
Cousins now on 2nd down. He'll find Thielen work in the middle. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. He had their lone TD earlier. Now he's got a first down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And complete, right side, the tight end Rudolph. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, they were unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
2nd down, Cousins. He finds Malcolm Mitchell here. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Cousins now 10 of 10 to start the game. How about that? As he comes up on a 1st and 10. Cousins again. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. As they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. 3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. So on 4th down, they bring on the Michigan man, Matt Wild, to kick it away. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. An update from that game going on in the Meadowlands. Early lead in that one for the Packers. Aaron Rodgers, a single touchdown pass to this point in that one. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Set. Blue 90.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. To the right and complete to Galladay. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. This quarterback now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll look to throw. And that's complete to Luke Wilson. And he's taken down inside the 30. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. They'll throw now on the final play. Caught on the right side by Jones. So we hit halftime. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or do they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they felt like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. They'll look to throw here on first down. And to the left side here, Wilson. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Past the 20. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
Nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
They'll look to throw again. This will be caught at about the 5. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal. Second and goal from inside the 5.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19. No. Check. Patriot.
He'll get it up the middle. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was a big chunk of yardage lost. Now Riddick. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Theo Riddick with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Lions have got it back to a 1-score game. Prater for the extra point, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score. I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from the lead.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And that sack certainly just strengthening his candidacy for Defensive Player of the Year. You think he's got that one in the bag yet?
I'm not willing to vote quite yet just because I want to wait until the season's over, but he is really tracking towards it. Just look at all the great plays we've seen from him throughout the season. Strength plays that you referenced there, as well as agility plays. They just have not found a way to block him consistently.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. Here's Matt Wild now. They'll boot it away from about his 35. And Detroit getting set to go now. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
They go play action here on first down. Eluding the pressure right. And he slings one that's incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it. And in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And he's into the clear. 20. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Lions are in for 6. And, Charles, I had an offensive coordinator tell me one time that they design every play to score. I don't know how true that is, but he had to run a long way after that catch. Heck of a play.
I think that when he was telling you that, he was designing run after catch in every play. I mean, that's the only way to put it in there, and that's what we got on that one. Nice catch, an even better run for big yardage.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
To throw, Cousins. Left side caught by Diggs. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Now we've got movement up front, and I think this is going to be on Minnesota.
False start, offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Following the penalty, it's Murray. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. They're back now to the original line of scrimmage thanks to that 8-yard gain. 3rd down now to follow.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
On 3rd down, Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And the Lions have recovered.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Escaping the pressure right. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. He'll drop to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He hits Riddick underneath. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. It'll be a gain of 6, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. In for the score. And the Lions use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. First down. Here's Cousins. It's complete to Diggs. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you.
Back now at Ford Field. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th. Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. On 1st and 10, Cousins. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together?
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
They will come up on a 1st and 5 following the encroachment penalty. They'll throw again. Cousins. He'll find Thielen work in the middle. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Cook following the penalty. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. They run it again with Cook. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The Vikings on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. Throwing. Cousins. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
The Lions offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And down he'll go at the 25. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The Lions on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. Here it's 3rd and 2. Riddick with a carry. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Well, they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another first down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively you've got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. And the Vikings with an extra defender in the secondary on 3rd.
Playing coverage here.
Now back to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free.
All right, let's go ahead and try and get into the body and the mind of the linebackers. Yeah, I know they're bigger and stronger than I ever was, but in this situation, they understood what was going on as much as the offensive guys, because the offensive guys are always taught, find the first down sticks and make the play. On defense, what do you want to do? Guard the first down line. Make sure they don't get there and tackle them in front. They were able to drop in their zone coverage, figure out where the first down line was, and end up making the play, swatting it away so they couldn't get the completion.
Now the Vikings now heading onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure.
He's got the lane, and there he goes. The 20, 10, touchdown, Vikings. Aldrick Robinson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are within a 2-point conversion of tying this game. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. Now we've got movement up front, and I think this is going to be on Minnesota.
False start, offense.
Well, that certainly comes under the heading of critical mistake, doesn't it, partner? You can't have that. You got a chance to tie the ball game from the 2-yard line. Now you've got to go back to the 7-yard line and take the same chance.
He's back to throw. And it's caught. And with it, we are tied here in the fourth. Huge conversion there to tie this thing up, but they're not done yet. Their defense needs to get a stop.
Yeah, there's still plenty of time for the other team to come downfield and put some points on the board, but job one was taken care of, the two-point conversion to get this thing tied.
And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
He'll come out throwing here on first down. He's got his man on the crossing route. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones at a first down. First down now, but that clock rolling.
Detroit!
They'll look to throw now on first down. Forced out to his left. And he whips that one incomplete there.
NFL quarterbacks work so hard on their mechanics, and they do so much repetition and practice, off-season, the whole deal. They expect it to be autopilot once the games start. That way it eliminates any type of pressure of the game, pressure of people in your face, all of that. That didn't shine through on that throw, though, did it?
No. A little bit of a dangerous pass and off target, too. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking there for Bruce Ellington, and it's third down. Third and long coming up. Defensively, you pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure, and if you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback, and then make sure you blanket the field.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As it comes with 1:15 left to go in the second half. So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. They'll set up a throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. 4th down now, and defensively, Charles, you know, they're just asking this crew for one more stop.
And you know that they're feeling the momentum right now, but they have to be very careful not to get over-exuberant, overexcited, and blow an assignment and give up the big first down.
Taken in at the 11. Call that 49 yards on the punt. They do get 7 back on the return. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play, but if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. A gain of 6 there on first.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Now Cousins. That's going to go as a loss of 7, and it'll set them back for 2nd down. Cousins. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again, except for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team. And that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. Short gain there to start overtime.
Almost a tester play, wasn't it? Wanted to see if the guys on defense were going to fit the gaps the correct way because we're in overtime. So it's not just physical tiredness out there, right? Mentally, are you still doing what you're supposed to do? And they were up to the task on that play.
And certainly fatigue on both sides of the football. And they need 5 yards on third down here to keep this opening drive of OT alive. The first throw in overtime now for Cousins. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. The temptation to go for it probably there. Always is, especially in overtime. Got to punt it, though.
I think you're right. I think that you absolutely have to punt it away and trust your defense, especially play a little field position here. But you're so right about the temptation. Another way to satisfy that, though, line up in punt formation and fake it. That's another way to get it done.
And Detroit getting set to go now. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. Excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done, now part 2. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
They go to Johnson again. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a third down and 6. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
Looking to throw. 2 minutes to go here in overtime. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete. Here's Sam Martin now, on for a very important punt here in overtime. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at about the 14. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Face mask. Defense.
In overtime, you have to be smarter than that.
A personal foul just can't happen. Have to have poise.
It'll be a gain of 24 on the play. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now a play fake here on first down. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line.
Defense.
Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout. That's their second and last timeout here in the overtime session. We'll be back. Again, it's Cook. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. The tackle there by Quandre Diggs. And that carry probably not so much for yardage, just to get the spot that you want to kick the field goal.
And then the yardage game there is really kind of gravy, and this just becomes what my old coach used to say. Get into position to be in position. And that's what they want, the right spot for their kicker to line up the field goal.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 4th down. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
And Bailey able to knock it through. We were just treated to an absolute dandy in this one. A great finish in overtime with a long field goal. Everybody, including us, on the edge of their seats. Quite a game.
And it's rare that you get a game into overtime that it doesn't turn out to be a dandy, right? That's what we saw here. And just what you were talking about, a long field goal to win it. So definitely not a gimme. So there was tension all the way through until the ball went through the post.
But it did go through the post. Ice water was in his veins. So for the Vikings, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they hit the 10-win mark now at 10-5. And they'll head back home next week to